want to?
Yeah.
No more broke dicks, okay?
No more what?
No more broke dicks. No more penis from a man that has no money.
Did you say broke dick?
Yes. Oh. But it's always good. That's the problem. Wow. Bernie likes them good. Like, Rick, can I say that on TV? Is that okay?
I ain't saying she's broke.
Listen, all I'm saying
I ain't saying she's a gold
is, if
digger.
anyone who is acquiring male genitalia, it needs to be attached to someone who can also fly you to the Caribbean. Okay? Because they can. You can fly yourself to the Caribbean, but why would you do that?
OMG.
I'm trying to put a blessing on my life, okay?
Come here.
Alright, so I'm sure y'all heard or saw the clip depending on what platform you're watching this from. Welcome to another episode. Saw another clip that messed up my day. I'm really convinced that black women are the only ones in America that truly have freedom of speech. Like, black women get away with homophobia, racist remarks, bigotry, shaming on every level, be it body shaming, wage shaming, and so on and so forth, without any recourse. Now, look, I wouldn't be mad or even concerned, I get more concerned than anything. I wouldn't be concerned that black women don't get any recourse for said bigotry, homophobia, blatant racism, shaming, body shaming, and so on and so forth, if they didn't administer so much punishment with regards to body shaming, slut shaming, and so on and so forth. And it's like, when they get to do it, not only do they not get any punishment, of which that part I don't even mind really so much, is that they get praised for it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and they don't understand that it's like they're being a caricature of a black woman as opposed to actually speaking freely. Because she didn't need to say that. You know what I'm saying? She didn't need to say that. I mean, and look, if you're a black man and you're looking at her, you know why she get a lot of broke penis. Because, clearly that's her demographic, right? She's probably not going to get the kind of guy that she particularly wants, because she's not giving that guy from a physical, because what she wants is the kind of penis that's attached to a man that can fly you to, the Bahamas. No problem with what she wants. She can have all the standards in the world. But her life has shown her that she's probably not going to get that, right? Because broke penis is her demographic. And that's why this movement has been so important. It's been so important because now there's no excuse. We said what we want. You either give it to us or don't. You can't slip through the cracks. You can't shame men into wanting, because it's always this idea, and shout out to Ed. Ed said the word, and I get it from whenever I get something from people, I gotta shout him out. Shout out to Ed, Edward Anderson. Sexual politics. It's whereas women will shame you into picking them. So fat women will shame you for liking skinny women and say, oh, you want little girls because you're a pedophile. So you want a little girl with this, that, and the third because you want little girls. Older women shame you for wanting young women. Black women shame you for wanting women outside of the race. And it's dick policing, and it's low-key reverse pick-me behavior. So a pick-me, they would say, is trying to acquiesce to any men's desires, you know what I'm saying, do all the things that men want so that they can get picked. They say men, they praise men, they do, because you're a pick-me. What the women do is they nag you so that you will pick them. So it's, you ain't this, you ain't that. I need a man with this, that, and the third. Shaming you for the things that you want. Oh, you're a pedophile because you want, younger women. You're a pedo because you want smaller women. You want little girls. A real woman has hips and thighs and this, that, and the third, of which nobody said they didn't want hips and thighs. You just don't want a fupa. They do the opposite of that to shame you into picking them. And she's a prime candidate for that, because what else is she gonna do? Really compete? Because if she was really into competing, she'd lose the weight. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't really see her face in the pic, in the video. But I don't imagine that this woman is hideous to the point where she lost weight and actually gave a damn about her body, for a year even. That she couldn't, get to a manageable weight to where maybe the next year after that she could, because instead of having a New Year's resolution on dealing with men who can fly you out, how about have a New Year's resolution of doing the things that it takes to actually get that, as opposed to just saying, I'm going to affirm it. And, it's like that kind of deal. And that's why I've never, and I'd be one to, again, this last time I just want to punch women in the throat, not literally, but just I want them to stop talking about that. Stop New Year, new me in this situation. Because New Year's resolutions are dumb anyway. But getting back to this woman, the fact that she's an overweight black woman that's loud, and we've clearly said we don't want that. We've been saying we don't want it. We don't want it. We just don't want it. You know what I'm saying? The majority, even the men who do take it, again, they're not taking it because that's what they want. They taking it because what else they gonna do? They're under the guise of the matriarchy that exists. And some men just understand, look, I gotta get what I can get. Most dudes gotta eat, so they gotta get what they can get. And plus, I think most of them have acknowledged or have submitted to the fact that they're not going to be received well if they pick a black woman, and they're not going to be invited to the proverbial cookout, and they don't want that to happen, but some of us, and I'm still wrestling with that in my own head. Some of us have understood that if it's the black community at the expense of my happiness, then I pick myself. I pick me. I'm not going to choose the black community at the expense of my happiness, at the expense of my safety in some cases, at the expense of my sanity, at the expense of my life. I'm not going to pick the black community over that, because otherwise it's fuck the black community. And if I got to be with an overweight black woman who's loud and has a bad attitude, with a couple baby daddies, I'd rather not. That just doesn't sound like a good proposition, even for a man, even as a man with kids, because again, it's not the same. Women having kids versus men having kids, there's two different levels or two different kinds of responsibilities that we have to kids that really makes it to where, because nobody's expecting you to pay for my kids. You may have to cook for them, but you don't have to do much for my kids if I have my kids. Because really, if I'm the one who has my kids, then I'm obviously, I've obviously went through the rigors of the court and have made it to the side. So I'm obviously qualified, to have my kids. And their mom she has to be a reasonable character if I do have my kids. She has to be reasonable on some level, because, 90% of court hearings, with regards to child support, which with regards to custody hearings, go in favor of the woman. So I have to have at least a somewhat reasonable woman if, in fact, I do have custody on that level. So it's a different level of responsibility, But this woman is just, she's ridiculous because, and look, she's a comedian, so it should be a joke, right? It's a joke. But the notion that she can say that kind of thing, on TV is, well, two people are exempt. If you're part of the LGBTQ community, you're exempt. Because, I forget who else said something, but it's a gay guy, known gay guy. I think he's one of the guys who does I think his last name is Cohen. But he said some things that were not necessarily so great. But I mean, not really, he didn't do any cursing. But those are two protected groups, black women, and it's not for nothing. It's like, at least with the LGBTQ community, plus community, at least they have like an actual coalition. Like they have an actual group, and they have lobbyists, and they have like some organization. Like I think people are just flat out just afraid of overweight, loud black women. And so they get away with stuff like that. And nobody can say, well, broke dick is your demographic. That's your demographic. You can't complain that that's what you're getting. Like, you're going to get that 10 times out of 10 because you're who you are. And the fact that you get broke dick and you're on TV is that's the part that's amazing to me. Like, women still haven't got it. We don't pick you based on how much money you make. And then when you're an overweight black woman who makes money and you still get broke niggas only approaching you and you're accepting broke niggas, it's like, don't you understand that that's not what it's about? It's not about you making money. It's clearly about the things that we want. Like, what do we want? And the only thing that they can do is shame you into wanting the things that they are. Like this woman. The only thing she can do to compete is to shame you into... She can't build a bigger building. She can only tear down yours. That's the only thing she can do, is tear down your building. She can't possibly compete. Or she can, she just doesn't want to. Because there is a choice. To have the biggest building, you can either build the biggest building or you can, tear down other people's buildings. And she's choosing to tear down other people's buildings. Broke dick. That's your demographic. It's no problem. Just pick the best broke dick you can get. Just like men. Men, if you can only get big women, hey, pick the best big woman you can get and grind with that. Good luck trying to get under the fupa and whatnot. Because, you never know. You might be just hitting all thigh. All slippery thigh. Yeah. Slippery thigh. But this is just a short one, man. Wanted to get in something, get out. All the information for all of the pods and Instagram and Twitter will be in the description. Please like, subscribe, and so on. And I'm out. Later.